talked to you last, it wasn't official with the Knicks. Now that it is, what challenges do you feel like they present when you guys have to work?
I mean, they play really hard. They got a lot of different guys. Obviously, they added Cat this year. I'm excited to compete against those guys. We played against them last year, and this is obviously a storied rivalry between two franchises. So to add another chapter to it is going to be a lot of fun, and just excited to compete against those guys.
The pace difference is huge. How do you go about making sure the game is played at a tempo you guys want?
We're going to have to get stops. We're going to have to get stops. Offensively, we are who we are, but if we're not getting stops, then if we're not getting stops, not making shots, then you kind of got to play at the other team's pace. So if we're able to get stops and finish every possession with a rebound, like that's the most important thing. Their points per possession goes way up as they grab more and more rebounds. So if we can try to hold them to one possession as much as we can, rebound, run, we'll feel good. But we got to be able to rebound. That's the biggest thing.
Looking forward to the WWE stuff with Jalen in the series?
It's exciting. Obviously, you guys know I'm a diehard WWE fan. Still trying to get Triple H to come to a game, working on it. It's pretty cool that that happened this summer, and here we are. So it's a pretty cool storyline. I'm all into long-term booking and all those things, and I'm sure it goes along with everybody who thinks there's a script. They think they think Triple H had something to do with it. So I'm excited about it.
How did you guys pull that off last year in the first place?
Well, obviously I have a really good relationship with WWE, really good relationship with Triple H, and I got a call that they wanted me to come to the Garden, and it was like, no question, I'll be there. Had no idea Jalen was going until I got there, and they're like, where's Jalen? So I called Jalen, and I'm like, are you coming? And he's like, yeah. And I said, oh, so we're really doing this. Like, we're tying it all in. I had no idea until we got there. I think he knew, but I had no idea. It was a pretty cool moment. Obviously, lifelong dream of mine to do anything with WWE, and to do it there and be booed and all that stuff was a lot of fun. So it was a good time.
Did you know he was into it? Is that something you guys talked about during?
Yeah. We talked about it during World Cup. I always knew he was into it. So it's pretty cool that they were able to pull it off, and without any real leaks or anything. It's pretty cool that we were able to pull it off.
From the playoffs and even that moment in the Garden, just how much do you like performing, being in that building? Like, does that hold a special place to you to go in there?
For sure. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I think last year the series was a lot of fun, back and forth. It felt like nobody could win 2 games in a row until we were able to do it. And I think that going into the series, I think that they didn't like the organization, but I don't think there were certain guys that their fans didn't like, and now they don't really like us too much. So it's all the fun with it, man. And like I said, excited to add more chapters to this storied rivalry and just continue to be a part of it. And man, I look forward to playing in that building, and I look forward to the crowd environment. It's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that my dad won't be able to go. So I look forward to the environment for sure.
And speaking of just that playoff series, they obviously made some personnel changes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they're a completely different team to prepare for, or are there things you can draw from based off that last year?
Yeah, I feel like obviously Cat presents a whole new challenge, and having OG healthy. Obviously they present, and Mikhail, they present completely different challenges, but I think at the same time, Tibbs is a guy who, he's not a gimmick guy. Everything is very square, what he does. He doesn't change his offense much. He doesn't change their defensive concepts much. It's very, the way he wants to do it. He's old school, I think, in that way. So I think they run a lot of, similar stuff, but I think there's definitely different personnel out there. So, we've played them 3 times this year. Obviously, early in the year, it was an awful game there in the Garden the last time we were there. We beat them once, and then they, beat us one time here. Aaron and Andrew were both kind of hurt a couple times. Miles didn't play in the 3rd game. So, it's a little funky when it comes to looking at, full film and stuff. But there's obviously bits and pieces you can take from every game. So I'm definitely excited about that.
How do you view that economy? Obviously, you guys play a lot of guys. They've played those 5 almost entirely, and certainly I think they played more by far than any 5. How do you guys view how that can shake out? Obviously, they're really well conditioned.
Yeah.
They've been doing that all year, but you guys run a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep being who we are, keep leaning into our depth. I think the biggest part here is, obviously, we feel like we have the best bench in the NBA, so when it's second group, we're very confident in what our group can do. We're confident at any time, but it'll be a little different. With majority of the time, it'll be if our second group's in there, you're seeing more starters than you usually see. So our second group's got to continue to be who they are, not worry about who's in front of them necessarily. Just continue to play the way they do. Fly, keep the pace in the game. The wear down effect. We can keep talking about TJ and those guys picking up full court, continuing our pace within our offense. Them having to, if they're keeping their guys on the floor, keep playing the way we do. And then when our first group gets back in there, keep it going. So I think it's definitely a contrast of styles. They play a slower, more methodical way. A lot through JB. We move the ball more, play a lot more guys. So it's definitely a different styles here, but I think that's what makes our game beautiful.
So how have you seen just Aaron evolve as a shooter? I look at some of his splits, catching shoots, off the dribble, driving. How have you seen that kind of take a step forward?
Yeah, Aaron's always had a strap. When we came into the NBA, I think that we were always talked about being kind of the two of the best shooters in our class, and so to be here with him, see how hard he works every day, see the extra work he puts in after practice, before practice, all those things. It's no surprise. He works so hard, and I think that we've talked about many times, that's just a guy that I think every player in the NBA wants to go to a battle with a guy like Aaron Nesmith. So he's just unbelievable when it comes to his work ethic, how hard he plays, and he's just been a big part of what we do. So obviously he's shooting the ball well, but I think it's where he's really taking a step is being able to dribble the ball up in transition, finishing at the rim. He's always been able to guard. I think he just keeps evolving every year, and so really a big part of what we do. So it's really good to see him playing well, and we look forward to seeing him continue to do that.
You guys haven't had a game for almost a week now. Can you talk about the benefits of having that time off, and are there any downfalls to it? Does it kind of throw your groove off a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think the benefits behind it are, being able to get proper rest. We've had a couple off days, had a couple good hard practice days. Downfalls, I think that people could say it's like a trap, so you can't really look into that much. Just be ready to go game one. And I bet if you ask certain guys, the downfall would be you got more Rick Carlisle practices. So it depends on who you ask, but I think those are all good things for us, to have more time to scout, even in the days where we didn't know who we were going to play, being able to work more on what we do internally. I think defensively, knowing if we played Boston or New York, we were going to have to rebound, so continuing to harp on that because we weren't very good on that in the Cleveland series, especially early in the series. So, I think it's been good for us to get more days to work, and hopefully be ready to go Wednesday.
Throughout the past, you've had some outstanding defensive moments individually. To get into another physical matchup, how will you know when to pick the spots and when to fall back and you're not trying to get second, third?
Yeah, I was trying to be solid. Playing these guys many times, knowing how they operate. Depending on who I'm guarding, it all poses different threats and different challenges. Obviously, Josh Hart is unbelievable at crashing, so don't want to pick up any silly fouls there. With Mikal will back you down and just shoot fadeaways over you. So and you guys know I like to think I'm a good shot blocker. So with Mikal, I can kind of get baited into wanting to block every time he shoots the ball and then foul. So I just trying to be solid and just be as good of a team defender as I can be, picking my spots, figuring out how I can be in right position to help and how I can help rebound. If I can rebound, at a decent level, I like our chances. So I'm going to have to be able to do that.